we're a national show, and I think it's important that in our education process, you were talking about the teachers not knowing. I know when I was in high school, I got very little education. Obviously not on retirement planning, but even budgeting and things like that. Hopefully our education leaders will begin to step up to the plate and start offering some of that help early on, things that you're doing right now.
If you're listening anywhere in North Carolina or Nevada, we have local offices near you. And
No
so
doubt.
a national show, but we're local for you. And we get a lot of calls each and every week because people are curious, Chuck, about what to do with the money.
Well, that's right.
It's fun to grow it.
I think my pet peeve, guys, is that we don't teach enough of civics or economics in high school or even in middle school.
Less and less
I
these
think people are relying on their cell phones, and the kids, they can't even add or calculate what they're retiring, and they're not even thinking about their retirement, but they need to.
Well, if you drive down the road with children or grandchildren and you look in the back seat, again, make sure you're doing it when you're at a stoplight, stopped. Don't look in the back seat when you're driving down the road if you have steering wheel in front of you. But they're buried in their cell phones, or they're buried in the video players. And most children, unfortunately, and even younger adults, need their phone or their GPS device just to get to the store. Because they don't see, here's what they're missing. They're missing the landmarks. Because back when I was young, we'd sit in the back of the car with nothing else to do. We'd find landmarks. So we'd see mom and dad driving all over the place. We knew they made a left at a silo. Remember silos back in the day? Or right after the horse in the field or whatever. But we don't have that anymore. But there are some different landmarks in the financial world we need to pay attention to. So you don't need your cell phone for this either. Number one, look at what the Dow is up over 50% since 2016.
Wow.
50% since the election night of 2016. Do you think it might be a little overheated?
Yeah, I would think so. You better be careful because you have to prepare for the inevitability of the correction.
So if you're sitting in the car and you've got the gas pedal all the way to the floor, and let's say it's one of those cars that has stick shift. Remember what those things were? You know what I call a stick shift these days, which is manual transmission? I call it an anti-theft device.
That's right. Nobody has
Most people get. Now, I have one.
That's right.
And I know in my Vegas office, I have a Dodge Challenger 6-speed, which is fun to drive. And I've missed it. That's what I learned. I learned on the stick shift. And so what we need to do, though, but if you have a stick shift, or even a regular car, if you floor it, you can see that little tachometer if you have that. And if you see the needle go into the red, that's a 7, 8, 9,000 RPMs or 6, 7, 8, however big your engine is. That means it's overheating a little bit. To me, the market is someone who really doesn't understand the clutch vehicle, the manual transmission. They've got it in second gear. They're going down the highway at about 80 miles an hour, and they don't realize that tachometer is all the way to the right, which is over 9,000 RPMs or whatever it is. The engine's going to blow.
Yeah, there's a lot of strain on it. Yep.
So how do you take your foot off the gas pedal in the financial world? Well, you minimize your risk by getting true diversification, getting an income strategy in place, and understanding there are three worlds of money. We're going to talk about all three of them here on the show.
Love this. This is a great topic to discuss here, Coach.
Well, it is important because we look at just the fact that we only know what we're told, or we only know what we see, and there are other alternatives out there many times that people don't know about. And that's just looking at the money world in general and trying to find out what makes sense to you. Now,
want to hear more? Head on over to financialsafari.tv or follow the Financial Safari on your favorite podcast app for new shows every week.